Hey, photographers, I wanted to start doing a series of videos every few weeks about some exercises that you can do that will help you see immediate improvements in your photography. Now, before you say exercises are dumb, they're boring, I've been doing this for a while, I don't need to do exercises, two things. Okay. First, these can be fun. And second, I do these with my photography students when we go on photo walks and their photography improves immediately. And so I know that yours will too. Just think of musicians, okay, pianists or guitarists who have been playing those instruments for decades. They still do very basic exercises, warm ups before every gig, or just to practice every now and then to keep their skills sharp because they are perishable skills. And so doing these kinds of exercises that we're going to go over starting in this video can help you keep your skills sharp. And this first one, I think it's fun. Okay, it's a scavenger hunt. Now, we're not going out looking for things like pink bicycles or anything like that, although you certainly can do it. But what we're going to do on this scavenger hunt is look for things to help our compositions. And this serves two purposes. One, it's a great prompt. If you're going out on a photo walk or you're traveling somewhere, you're in this picturesque place, and you have like the photographer's version of writer's block, looking at this list that I'll give you, and you can download this list, that can prompt you, that can trigger you to maybe see things that you wouldn't have otherwise seen without the list. Things like, maybe looking straight down, doing a photo from a ground level perspective. Those things can kind of help you see other things that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. And the second big benefit, probably the most important benefit of doing a scavenger hunt like this when you go out with your camera, is that it helps you learn how to see. You will start to more easily recognize these compositional elements that can all, when added together, make for a more interesting photo. You would call them conceptual layers, where physical layers, you might have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. A conceptual layer are other types of compositional elements that get added to one another. Okay, so maybe like leading lines, complementary colors, patterns. Those are all conceptual layers. They're all in this scavenger hunt that you can download. And when you add these kinds of things together, it makes for a more interesting photo. And so this exercise helps you recognize those things. And when you learn how to see them more easily, that's going to free up some of your bandwidth. I know I have limited bandwidth up here to, save or divert more energy to other creative or technical aspects of photography. So with this scavenger hunt, what you're going to do is go to the link that's in the description for this video. It's linked to the article version of this video. And there's a download at the end of it where you can download this list and either print it out on like a 4x6 index card or save it to your phone. And when you go out with your camera, and everyone should be practicing every now and then, just going out on a photo walk, even if you don't have much intent other than to just practice pressing the shutter button, reference this list. So you're out with this list and you might see leading lines, okay, straight leading lines. The purpose of this is to take your viewer into your frame, into a vanishing point or a point of interest, and that helps draw your viewer into the photo. And so looking at that on this card, now you're going to start looking for leading lines and seeing leading lines. Some other things that are on this list, like straight leading lines, we have curved leading lines, which also take your viewer into the photo, although with a much more softer feeling thanks to those curved lines. There are reflections, which could be either in glass, mirrors, or water. These reflections can also lead to symmetry, which is another thing on this list. Those can be combined with one another. Patterns are just any form of repetition These create kind of like a visual rhythm for the eye to follow, much like musical beats. That's what patterns do. Silhouettes would be intentionally underexposing a subject with a very interesting shape that is backlit. So you can better emphasize the shape of that subject. And if you have any interesting colors in the sky in the background, it'll help those pop out more, give you more saturation in those colors. Shapes like triangles, these could be actual physical triangular objects or 3 points that form a triangle. Our brain loves shapes. And so if you can find these kinds of shapes out in the world, make these kinds of triangles or squares or anything else, our brain likes that kind of order. And so if we can place these visual elements into that kind of order, it's going to make for a more pleasing photograph. You're also going to see juxtaposition on this list, which is a contrast of ideas. Like here, we have these buildings that look very, very old, made out of stone, yet they have satellite dishes on top of them. So that's a contrast of ideas. Notice those satellite dishes also form a triangle. And that's what I was talking about, was having more than one of these conceptual layers on top of one another in a photo to make them more interesting. There are also color schemes on this list, like complementary colors, those colors that are opposite one another on the color wheel. Analogous colors are those next to one another on the color wheel. And then monochromatic colors are just different shades of the same color. Now, if you want to learn more about all of these things, composition, shapes, color, using light, you can check out the Basics of Light, Composition, and Color course. That's at photocourses.link/LCC. You can get 20% off of that course with the code TUBE20. If you just want to get straight to the scavenger hunt, go to that link in the video description. At the end of that article, download that scavenger hunt, print it out, throw it in your camera bag, or keep it on your phone, and reference that every chance you get. And it's going to train your brain to see these different kinds of conceptual layers so that it becomes second nature to you. You build that kind of muscle memory, and now every time after that, when you go out, you're going to see them without even really thinking of it and come back home with better photos. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below. Subscribe for more great tips like this every week, and we'll see you in the next video.